Hello. Um, I'm back again wanting to talk about a diagram that I've drew regarding the EMF and the what goes on and the unseen when we're around technology. I've only just found it, realised this the past week. When I came back, when I was away for a while, and I came back and I've been away from my technology for a couple of weeks, and all that time away, and then going back to it, I think I've kind of really felt the effects of what it was doing. So let's just quickly, I just want to quickly go over this diagram here. Obviously my PC's broken, so I couldn't overlay any images. I don't want to show you what else is in this book, because this is my book that I put stuff in. Oh, no, you didn't see that. I mean, look at the state. Hopefully you can hear me with this washing machine on here. There. Right, so let's just go over this. Right, it's pretty self-explanatory, really. See how what I was talking about on yesterday's video, where you've got like a really clean reciprocal feedback going on between ourselves and nature. Right, so what we've got here, that could be you in your living room. That could be you paying attention to your phone. Right, it could be anyone. Let me zoom in on this. I mean, obviously, see what it says. It's not really neat. It's not supposed to be neat. So see what it says here. Anything artificial, or any modern tech, or anything artificial. So it doesn't have to be a screen. It could be anything that's artificial. So this screen here is kind of the medium. It could be anything, any kind of artificial material, or any technological device. So what we've got, you've got your biofield, which is around you. You know, you've got your magnetic fields. It's not showing all the fields, it's just a basic outline of, like, there's a circle, or there's multiple circles around you. And so you've got your fields that are coming from your heart and your brain and all your other intelligence centers, and they're going around you in a circuit. But it doesn't look like this actually. It's like a toroidal shape, if you were to actually want to visualize it. And this toroidal influx and inpouring and outpouring of energy is it looks like a toroidal shape. It's like a donut shape. Anyway, let's have a look at this here. I mean, so we've got your attention. You've got this line indicating all of this. Your attention, your imagination, your awareness, your consciousness. I didn't spell it properly, that just says conscience. And all of this is all around you in your field. It's all part of your body. It's part of your unseen influence that we carry with us. And, so you've got your attention, and all that is going through any kind of artificial device, anything, even an artificial material. But when it comes to technology, they have got metals in them, metals and other materials that could distort you. So see, you can see here the lines going in through the artificial technology, and it's because of what it consists of, and it's not natural. So you're not going to get a figure of 8 going on there, unless you're aware of what's going on, and you're able to control your attention and reorientate and realign. But that's another thing that you need to find out on your own. I can't be. But anyway, so it's going through here and it's looping. See that? It's looping. That's what I felt it. It's going in through your screen or through any kind of technology. It's looping like whoosh, 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 whoosh. And there's also feedbacks going on. So see if you've got speakers all around you. If you've got speakers all around you, there could be a huge feedback happening. So you could be going in through the technology, in through your amp, and for your technological devices getting spread out and churned and moved all around the world in all sorts of different places, and it's just draining you. It's not coming back to you unless you're aware and you pay attention. But also, so it's, what was I going to say? I should see if you had, I should actually put speakers in here. Right, because I've got a surround sound, and I'm always surrounded. Well, I'm not spending too much time around the speakers since I've realised all of this. But if you can imagine, if you've got speakers around you, that could create some kind of feedback, huge, massive feedback, as your energy and your energy is going through the technology and even through the speakers that you've got all around you, and creating some kind of like feedback. If you can see that, I think that I know that is what happens, and it's all in the unseen, and you wouldn't even know what's happening. You would just know. Do you know the symptoms of all of this? The symptoms are anxiety, restlessness, stress, and it can eventually make you really, really ill. Cognitive disabilities, all sorts of things. But then one of the main ones is I've not actually really thought about it, you know. But I mean, it was making me feel really ill. So it was. So the symptoms of this are all modern symptoms that we have today, such as depression. You don't know what to do with yourself. Not actually thought about it, to be honest with you, but there is symptoms of this, and they can affect you in a huge way, especially if you're a sensitive soul. You know, you're a sensitive soul, and you're surrounded by all of this technology that can just spread you around the whole world and not give you back. I'm going to have to go and close a window. It's slamming. Right, so let me just go in here. Let me show the mess of this place. What window's slamming now? Hold on. Yeah, because it's a bit windy. Right. Okay, so we're back, right? I could edit that out, but there's something wrong with the editor on the phone. I updated the editor app, the video editor app on the Samsung Galaxy, and it broke it. All the video editing functions are all gone. My PC's broke, so I can't edit my videos, and so I'm making sure that I'm not having to like cut bits out because I can't. Anyway. So your attention's going through anything artificial. Can you see that? And it's getting twisted, and there's a lot of twisting and circulation going on as it goes through all the technology, and it's getting transmitted, and it's just getting drawn away from you. And it's getting spread everywhere, you know. It's getting spread all over the internet. It's going through, it's all over the world, actually. We don't realise it. See, you've got the internet here. That's like kind of the internet. It's just a circle with loads of like loops going around it. And then you've got here, you've got a CPU and a crystal. You see that? So that crystal represents, and you can see these lines coming off it there. It represents something that's been charged from our energy and attention. And you can see this here as a CPU. That just represents AI basically. See how it says AI. So you can see, and there's also, see how there's separate channels here, which is not being like distorted and put around in loops and loops and loops and loops. It's just a stream going up to here, and we don't know what this is. That's the other side, but it's a place on the other side. Right, let me just close this window because there's a dog barking non-stop. It's antisocial. Right, we don't want to listen to your dog. Right, so you can see there's another place here. As I said, that could be like the other side or some other place where all your attention is going to. You've got the Black Knight satellite. Is it called the Dark Knight satellite or the Black Knight? It's one of the two. So you can see how that's involved. Right. Okay, so you can see all that. Now look at this one. So you've got a person in his energy, and there's a nice, clean, natural interaction with the planet, with nature. You can see how it's just depicted there as quite a simple, natural setup there. You can see that it's just like a figure of 8. It just represents a balance, natural balance, in and out. And you can see this, that doesn't look very natural, does it? I mean, that's going all over the place. And you can feel it as well. You could feel it. I could feel it when I came back, when I spent 3 weeks away from my technology, and then I came back, I started to feel it. So I sat on the couch and I just felt like strange, and I wanted to know what it was. And so I just sat for a while in complete silence with everything off, and I just started feeling everything. Then I kept it off for 4 days, and when did I draw this? I think it was like, it wasn't immediately when I came back, it was a couple of days after I came back I started to draw this, and I had to get it out. I had to depict or express what I was seeing and feeling. And I didn't have my PC, so I would have put it in the CryEngine, but I didn't have that. So I just got the pen and just started drawing. You know, I've got other stuff in here I've drawn, but I'm not going to show you that. This is kind of like it's my wee book. Anyway, so what we've got here, this is something else, but I'm still studying. But there's something really magical going on with specific technology. When you're an artist, even musicians, there's something magical going on with musicians and artists when we use technology. And so, if you can see that says CryEngine. So I've not really drawn much about that because it's pretty and insane what I've seen, what is going on with when you put yourself through technology in an art-based form of expression. But I'm not going to get into this too much, because I mean, if anybody knows what gematria Do you know what gematria is? Right, type in CryEngine in the gematria. You get a lot of results, but one of the results that comes up in CryEngine and the gematria is the Black Knight satellite. Is it Dark Knight or Black Knight? It's one of the two. So see, this thing, that's related to technology in some way. To high technology. You know, game engines are very, very high technology. Very powerful technology. Gaming engines and software that can create art. Any kind of form of expression, tool for expression and technology is incredibly powerful. It's doing other things that we don't know about. We're still studying. So you can see other things there. So that's basically all I wanted to show you here. Yeah, we can't turn it sideways. So maybe see if you're around technology and you feel like restless and like you can't concentrate. But it's basically when it's on its will. I mean, like when you're engaged in a task, it's absolutely fine, right? But when you're not doing anything, when you're around technology, I think that's when it can make you stressed because it's drawing your attention away. And even if you're around it, you're constantly thinking about what you can do with it. So say you've got your phone sitting next to you. You've got your phone sitting there. And you're sitting here. Just constantly thinking. And see when you put your attention on your phone, you're constantly thinking about what you can do with your phone or what's happening in the world. And you're constantly, even though your phone's to the side, your attention's going through the phone because you're thinking about what you can do with it. And like, what's happening on Facebook, what's happening on Twitter, what's happening on YouTube. Even though it's switched off, but you're constantly thinking about that. And if you've got a lot of technology around you in your place where you spend time on, even spending time in that place when it's switched off can draw your energy away from you and into these things because you're constantly thinking about what you're going to do. Like there's 1,000 things you can do, you know, when you switch it on, you're constantly thinking about that. And it can create anxiety and stress, and you can get like really stressed and your heart rate can increase and all that. So this washing machine's doing my head in. So I think that's it just now. That's just a wee message there that I put there. It's just a wee message. When I made this to recognise what state I'm in. Like, you see, if I'm in a meditative state, I need to stop what I'm doing and meditate for 5 minutes. If I'm in a whatever kind of state you're in, you just need to recognise it and deal with it, and pay attention to what state you're in. It's really important. So, I mean, I'm not going to show you all the other stuff in here. Yeah, I've seen that in the clouds one time. Yeah. What else is like? So hopefully that's pretty self-explanatory. And you can see how there's the zeros and ones representing binary or some kind of information. It's going from particular technologies up to the Dark Knight satellite. Is it Dark Knight or Black Knight? I don't know, it's one of the two. And the gematria. So it's kind of related. It's related to the CryEngine in some way. I don't know, whatever way it's related. Well, I actually know. actually do know how and what was happening. It's quite a long story. It's quite a... I'll tell you how I've seen it, because I need to have the CryEngine open in a specific level so I can show you. And it's to do with the calculations that the engine's making. It's making constant real-time calculations, and it's getting uploaded and sent and processed and projected and broadcast to the Dark Knight satellite. When you have your engine running, but it has some kind of physical effect, an unseen effect, and I'm still looking at all of that. It's quite interesting. But and see this should be wider. See this here? It's like a tunnel and a bridge to another place, because that's what it is. It's like a bridge, a tunnel to another place. It's a real tunnel, because I've seen it. Seen that video I made when I put that engine on and I switched that engine on. When I watched that back, I seen something. It's definitely really interesting, and it's... I think I need to have like the CryEngine on so I can explain it, and that's what I'm going to do in the future. I'm going to make videos about just particular different things about creating environments and real-time environments and things like that. So, I mean, it's really, really out there. It's really out there, so it's captured my attention, my imagination, and I just want to know what it is. So we've got this. I'm just going to end the video, I think. See, it says anything artificial. It says anything artificial. So it could be a piece of plastic, it could be a piece of material, it could be anything. I mean, look at these things. I mean, they're covered in like a black exterior. All technology is covered in this black exterior. Why? You can get different colours. You know, when you're ordering stuff online, you can choose the colour of your product or your device. Sometimes you can get white, blue, and all that, but most technology is all black. The default colour is black. Maybe it's because black is still kind of a neutral colour. Is it neutral? Is it neutral? But you can see, I mean, inside there is like coils, metal coils. There's so many things that's in technology that they can trap your light body and distort your field. If you don't pay attention to that, they can make you anxious and stressed and depressed and give you a lot of symptoms that sound like a lot of symptoms that people have got today, actually. So I think a lot of the illnesses and the ailments is coming from spending too much time around technology in general. Even just having your phone around you. Let me just go in here a second. You know, there's even just having your phone around you can cause anxiety. I felt that when I was in the hospital. So I basically had to put my phone, at one point I had to put my phone away from me. I was sitting meditating. I could talk about it in detail another time. I was sitting meditating for about an hour or however long it was, and I had to like physically grab my phone out my pocket and throw it to the side of me because I could feel it was affecting my fields because I was grounding myself on the grass. Not this grass. Not this grass. And I could feel that it was, I don't know, I could feel the magnetic field actually. And I could feel it distorting my field at the side where it was inside my pocket. So I had to reach in my pocket, like really, there's like a reaction. Like I reached in my pocket and just grabbed my phone and flung it like 5 feet away from me. Anyway, so I mean, if you could look, imagine being surrounded by that. All these devices. Wow, it's not healthy. It could really make you cause anxiety. So I'm just making this video for my own benefit, really. What do I want to talk about now? So do you see these two plants? I bought these two plants when I came back because that helped me to orientate. But it's just good to have some life in your room. Apparently, you're supposed to have 15 plants in your room, in your house. Sorry. And they can clean your air. They clean the air. I mean, this one is a spider plant, and it cleans formaldehyde. It cleans other toxins from your air that's common in the air. This is aloe vera. It's an aloe vera. Wow. Both of these plants clean the air. So they do. Both of them. You can see when you look at plants, can you see that in the camera? Like, see how that's glowing? Like, because the light's able to propagate through it. Well, that can't happen with the artificial materials. See how light propagates through materials and it makes it glow. Natural materials, and it glows, and it allows energies to pass through it and feedbacks to happen. See, if that was plastic, no light propagation, no energy propagation. So I'm going to get more plants and just cover the whole room in plants, so it's going to be like a jungle in here. I mean, look at that. Look at that. What's that doing? Oh wait, look at this. Look, there's my power supply. There's my power supply. So broken. It's like the heart of my computer. There it is, Joe. Oh, the dust in this place. I've tidied up in here. There was a lot of dust. So yeah, I've had this for nearly a decade, and I came home and I left the system off for 4 days. It was supposed to be 3 days, but I think it was more like 4. I turned it on that day for a couple of hours to play a couple of games and just to, I think it was playing Battlefield and Forza. And I switched it on the next day and it wouldn't go on because the power supply's died. It's dead. It's dead. And it's just at a time where I need to spend time away from my computer and my devices. I mean, imagine being in here and sitting on that couch as a leech. Being surrounded by screens. I mean, this is like a modern... Everybody's got screens and devices in their houses, man. We've all got speakers. We've all got fucking screens in our houses. Right, we've all got the same things. You know, I've got speakers there as well. They're all around me. And I was spending, after 3 weeks being away from all of this, because I've came back and I've like felt the effects, big time. Felt the effects and realised what was happening. Seen it, felt it. Seen it in my mind's eye. Felt it. Studied it. And then I had to draw it and articulate it and just express it. So, oh look, I'll show you something else that happened, right? I don't want to show you the side of the wall because it's damaged. But let me show you this. Let me just show you this. See my wand? My wand that I had? Look what happened to it. Look at this. Look what happened to my wand. Look. It snapped into 3 pieces. It snapped into 3 pieces. Look at it. Wow. So how that happened was it got broke accidentally. It got broke accidentally, so it did. It's actually losing its colour. It used to be dead white there. I mean, see, when I seen this happen, I was absolutely devastated, so I was. You know? Devastated. It's broke into 3 pieces. Imagine that. And they just fit together like a jigsaw. So what I'm going to do is glue it back together. See if I could hold this phone. I could show you. How can I hold this phone and use my hands at the same time? I just need to get a gimbal. Right, these fit together. They fit together. Let me just try and hold the. Oh, come on. Wait. They fit together like a jigsaw. Hold on a second here. Hold on. I don't want to break it. Right, hold on. Let me put the phone down. I can't hold the phone and put them together and show you at the same time. Right, so there's that piece, right? See how that just fitted on there? Look at it. Look. It's like a jigsaw. Look. It just fits back together like a jigsaw, right? So you got that piece. You see that? I'm trying to hold the phone at the same time. And then they've got this piece. It goes there. Right? Can you see that? It just fitted back together. Look at that. Like a jigsaw. So this got broke before I went into hospital. And it was actually caused by stress and anxiety and everything else that was going on. It's a really powerful sign. I mean, imagine that getting broke in 3 places like that. How the hell did that happen? Do you know what it was? It's where it usually is over here. Like on there. It's covered in dust and cat hair. Right? I mean, I'll talk about what happened in another video at some point, but basically, a bit of wood, they got thrown in an alternate direction. Somehow managed to land there and snap my wand in 3 freaking places. So, I mean, that's bizarre. It's really bizarre. Look at it. It's broken in 3. How does that even work? How does that even? There's just a long list of bizarre things that happen to me on a regular basis. Let me try and. Did I show you they fit together like a jigsaw? It's amazing. I wish I could hold the freaking phone so I could show you. They just fit back together. So they do. So I'm going to just glue them. Glue them back together. And I'm showing you this because it was before I went into into a psychiatric ward for 2.5 weeks, and they really took care of me. And I realised a lot of my energy and my chi, and I got away from my technology. So it was hugely beneficial, so it was, to get away from all of this and all the stress and anxiety and everything that was going on. I was letting it pile on top of me. And with everything else that was happening at the time, and the way I was handling things, I think I just kind of flipped out and started like throwing things off the wall. So I threw like a stick, do you know, like a mop handle, like this, see the pole from the mop? Well, that had snapped, so it was a piece about what, like how, a meter, and I was throwing it off the wall really hard. Right, and somehow a piece of it has managed to freaking land on the thing I made, unintentionally. The thing I made that was made by different pieces at different times that just came together into a wand. It's my centerpiece. It's my centerpiece on my mantelpiece there. You see, it's a box. It's a box because I can't afford a table. Well, I could, but you know, I've just had that for a while. It's just you call it your mantelpiece or the centerpiece, but I've got that thing there. I didn't know what it was. I was looking up wands. What are wands? And apparently, your wand chooses you, and that thing chose me, and I fucking broke it into 3 places. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I've looked up wand lore and a lot of things about wands and staffs, and apparently wands are a symbol of power. So I'm not going to use it to for magic and all that. No, use my hands for magic. I mean, I don't know. It's just an ornament. It's an ornament, right? So what I'm going to do is glue it. I've got some other materials that I brought back from a special place, and I'm going to fuse them into the broken pieces of the thing, and I'm going to fix it, and it'll be stronger. And you could say it was a sign, some kind of sign, and it all happened before I spent time on a psychiatric ward, which was actually the best thing that's ever happened to me, was getting taken care of by the NHS, and they did really take care of me. So they did. Mental health. Even though I wasn't mental. I'm not mentally insane. I just had a lot of stresses in my life and I wasn't dealing with them properly. I was spending a lot of time on this leech. See, this thing's a leech. And I was around all my technology and I wasn't aware of what it was doing, what it was happening. And it was making me really upset. It was really making me unbalanced. And so, when I've not really spoke about everything that happened, you know, I will make a video at some point speaking about my time there. It was absolutely great, fantastic, memorable. So, when I came back, I had to like sit and feel, because I felt like a bit funny when I came back, when I sat in that chair after being away from technology and away from all that. I came back and I just sat and felt, measured. I was reading, like reading was happening, and I just drew this. It started off with, it was basically just wanted to show how we have a field and how our field can get drawn through any artificial device and distorted, looped, and they're creating huge feedbacks that can go back to you, but it's back to you in a distorted way, and if you're not aware of it, it can make you really ill. And if you're a really spiritual being, and then it's going to really hit you hard if you don't wake up and realise this. And it's really, and you think you're healthy, you're not healthy, because you're not aware of what your attention is and where your attention is going. And I mean, it's quite interesting, because I mean, it's basically spiritual people who have got a lot of energy and attention. You're being drawn, and you're being spread around the entire universe by technology, and that's just in the well, yeah, it's in the unseen, it's in the metaphysical. It's a physical effect, and then it can have physical symptoms in you, as in anxiety, depression, loss of concentration. You don't know why you feel so weird, and you feel really self-conscious as well. That's another thing. You can feel really self-conscious and highly, really. Do you know that feeling when you feel so really self-conscious? You can feel like that. It's because your energy's being drawn away, and there's huge feedbacks happening. And if you think of everything else that's going on, we're being surveilled. And if you add in the surveillance equation to all of this, that's creating huge feedbacks, and it's making, when you've got eyes watching you. Whose eyes? We don't know. We've got the watchers. We've got secret societies. We've got God. We've got spirits. We've got angels. There's all sorts of people who are observing us. All sorts of beings. We're being observed by so many different ways, and when you put that into this whole equation, it just creates a lot of feedback, and that feedback is massively going to make you self-conscious and make you sick, make you ill, if you don't realise what's going on. I mean, you see the crystal here. I put the crystal in after. So I did. It was the next day. Well, I was sitting smoking a joint. It was, and it just came to me. I should put the crystal here. I mean, I can't show you any images. If you look up the dark crystal, right? See that one scene where the little creature, whatever it is, what they called, hobbits or something. They look like hobbits. They're like rubber puppets, but they're actually like representations of a civilization who are being put in front of devices, and their attention and energy is going out of them and charging the crystal. Is a dark crystal, and you've got dark crystals in technology. So I think there's a lot of truth in that. And I think it's really, really, really essential if you're a spiritual being to pay attention to this. And I'm paying attention to it. I want to study it more, which is why I'm making videos about it, because I can gain a lot of insight. Am I covering the camera? No, I'm not. You can gain a lot of additional information and awareness when you articulate your thoughts, and you can create additional uploading it to YouTube and putting it in the public eye. You can create additional awareness as well. I think this is really, really important to get this across. But I feel it's really interesting. It is important. I feel it's really, really interesting as well. I mean, look at all this, right? Look at the state of all of that. Right, now look at this. It's quite simplified how that happens. You've got you and your field and the earth and nature and plants and everything natural. There's a natural feedback happening. But look at the state of this. Look at the state of that. Right? So if you're trying to tell me that this doesn't happen, and that this is not a real thing, But it is a real thing, you know, because you're not aware of how our energy and attention and our information is going, and you're not aware of it because we're not taught about it. We're just told that we're just a skeleton with flesh on it, with a brain. They don't tell you nothing else. They don't tell you nothing else. You got to figure it out for yourself. And you can see, like, see how there's this binary code. This is information that's coming, and I'll talk about this when I got the CryEngine on, right? Because there's something. They've got a lot of information that regarding a specific system, and it's got to do with consciousness, reflections, and calculations that are being made by the engine, and they're being sent up to the, is it the Dark Knight or the Black Knight satellite? And you can see here there's that's going into there as well. I don't know why it's going in there. But oh, there was something else. Yeah, so see how these lines, look at these lines, they're going whoop, they're going around and then through and then whoosh, 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 coiled and looped and looped and looped. It's not coming back to you like a normal interaction. Can you see that? See that? Right? These lines are going whoosh and then wham, 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 wham. I can feel all that. See all that twisting, looping? That's how it feels like, and there's a big, huge feedback as well. There's a huge feedback that happens through technology. When you're around technology, it can make you really self-conscious, especially if you're sitting or standing. Yeah, and you've got your technology in the same room as you, with it turned off. And if you want to try some kind of experiment, where have I put my tea? Yeah, I've left my tea in the room. If you want to try an experiment, right, go into your room where you've got all your devices, right, and turn everything off and just sit there. But you need to be away from it for 3 weeks, at least, to be able to feel the effects. And you need to be like really aware, and be able to feel. And you have to be at zero. I think, see, when I came back, I was at zero. You know, you've got to go back to zero, and that is like removing all stimulation, even stimulative foods and drinks as well. That counts. You need to be back to zero so you can feel exactly what's the reality of what you're living in. You can feel more. You're able to understand more, and man, let me get my tea. I can't think straight. Right, so I think I've left my tea in here. So after I've found all that out and realised and recognised all of that, I went onto eBay and I bought some plants. And what I've I put them up here. I've got one here. This is the natural place to put them. Was on top of my speakers, so I've got one here. You've got a plant there. I've only put them there so you get sunlight every couple of days. I put them there. They look good on the window ledge because there's natural propagation going on and stuff happening. So I want to like fill up the room with plants, and I think that would help to offset. But I've been spending less time around technology, spending more time grounding myself, because you need to discharge your energy somehow. You need to ground yourself. See how you've got, oh, there's holes in the wall there. See how we're electrical beings? You've got a positive and a negative. No, science has not told you that you need to be grounded And grounding comes in many different shapes and forms. So they've not told you that. So you're missing something. Missing in vital, foundational, fundamental informations about our energy. And it's making everybody sick. And it has made everybody sick. It's going to continue to make people sick. I've seen it. I've seen what it's done. And I felt the effects when I came back after spending a long time away. I mean, by the way, see, when I came back, I spent 4 days with my whole computer, everything off. 4 days, everything off, and I've never done that in my life. That was a huge thing for me, because I usually am on my PC every single day. Every single day for the past 25 years. I've been putting myself through technology, the form of stimulation or as a tool for expression. And yeah, that takes a toll on you. And see if you don't recognise that you're tired and you're stressed out and you're anxious and it's affecting you. You could have a nervous breakdown. I press that button again. See, when you press that, it cuts the sound. So if you don't recognise your energy and where it's going, you're going to have a nervous breakdown. A midlife crisis. So luckily, I mean, I've been in a midlife crisis for the past 10 years, man. So I have. But I've not destroyed the world and like taking my life out on people around me. Nope, I didn't do that. So don't look at that. 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 Hey, so we're coming back in here. Now maybe we should just carry on, because and I mean I'm trying to spend more time away from technology, right? But I'm having to use technology now to organise and share information. But this is right now I'm using technology to try and work something out. And for many different reasons that I'm doing this, right? There's many different reasons why. I mean, I'm on this phone. I'm making 2-hour-long videos. I'm watching them back because I need to learn. I need to know what this is all about. And I'm doing that using technology, which I've been talking about is unhealthy if you spend too much time on it. So, but what it is, I'm aware of all of this now. So I am. And you know, once you're aware and you know, I mean, something happens. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I'm moderating my time, and I'm aware. I mean, I don't even spend too much time in that room anymore, in the living room. See, when everything's off, I cannot sit in the living room anymore. I've got to stand in here, because I mean, sometimes I sit in there, just sit on the floor, but I cannot spend time in here when everything's off. I've got to leave the room, not because I feel any symptoms like I did when I came back, but I just feel as if it's hard to explain actually. I mean, right now I just feel as if I need to leave. I need to get out. I need to get out and go into a different room. And that's it, problem solved. So, hey, you want to see something weird? I wasn't going to show you anything. You want to see something weird? Where's my pen? Okay, so if this is gematria. I don't know if that's too loud. Is that fridge too loud? That washing machine? I'm sure you could be able to hear me. So this is gematria. Now, I made a name. It was a really unique, original name that I made, and it was based on the word entropy. Okay. Now, it was Twitter. I used it as my screen name on Twitter. And what I used for the E was a 3. And what I used, I've changed it now, it's different now, but this was the original one that I used. I used for the O, it's a special 0 character, which is this. And it's some kind of numeric symbol. Okay, so that's 2. So there's 2 symbols there. You go to the third one, which is an at, which is an A. And if you look at the value of this, it's 0. So the value in gematria, anyway, and the numeric value of the at is 0. It's not got a numeric value. So see, when you calculate these three characters that are in this name that I made, like it was a completely original name, and it's even more original with the fact that I put a number instead of a letter, and a numeric symbol instead of the O, and another symbol instead of the A. Now, what I did one day was I calculated all of this up, right? So I put the 3, the 0. It's a special 0. It means, what does it mean again? It means something state, 0 state. I could look it up. So basically, right? Wait, focus. Hopefully you can hear me, because the washing machine's going off. It's not that loud. So, see, when you calculate all this together, you would think it was a 3, right? Which it is, but see, in gematria, numbers don't have any value. So it's a 0. So see this, in gematria, just those 3 characters, they equate to 0. Right? In gematria. But it's a 3. But it's a 3 in normal, just normal, like, in normal language. And so, what we've got here is a completely unique screen name that I was using for my Twitter. And it's quite interesting how, when you put this in gematria, here's what you get. You get, is it the Jewish 802 in the Jewish, 912 and the English, or is it the simple, and then the 152 in the simple in English. And I mean, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but there's a lot of interesting relationships. And if you know what gematria is, it just shows that there's a relationship between, if you put in something completely original that's come from your heart and you put that there and you get results, then your energy is related to the results. There's a lot of other ones as well. I mean, I've got it different now. I mean, even that's in there as well. That's related. See that? The exact spelling of that's related to this, is related energetically. And if you look up what that is, it's 802 in the Jewish. And see if these three letters hadn't have been made like that, because these equate to 0. So see, when you put this into gematria, this screen name, it comes up. It takes away the 3 characters here, and they equate to 0. So basically, it's just calculating the N, the T, the R, the P, the Y, the G, the M, and the E, and the R. And all of that calculates up to 802. And it's the same frequency and energy as all of these people. You can see them. Look at this. Look. The power of love. The Milky Way. There's all sorts. I mean, if you know what this is, it's a real science. It's all relationships and energetic relationships. Words are powerful. Words are an emanation of energy. And so when you put something behind your words, where that's come from, that's energy. And when you calculate using a specific system called gematria, which just adds every letter in the alphabet has got a value. Every letter in the alphabet has a value, okay? And so when you put a word into gematria, it calculates the value of each letter and then adds them all up, and you get a number. And it takes away, it's using a reducing algorithm where you take a number and you add them both together, then it reduces them. So you could add this 8 and a 2, by the way, and that's a 0. But that's another thing. Or you could add the 1 to the 9. Just for instance, you could add the 1 to the 9, which is a 1. You don't calculate the 0. Yes. And then we'd add the 2 to the 1, which is a 3. So you could reduce this number to a 3. Is that right? I think that's right, yeah. So I'm just showing you for example. I mean, there's all sorts of things in this. I mean, look at this. Look at all these people, and I mean, there's loads. I mean, even if you've seen, I mean, look at this. All the Borealis. There's so many, and these are all related. These are all related energetically. To my energy. See that one there? There's a lot of interesting, and it goes on for pages and pages and pages, right? There's just so many. And I've used my other name as well. And you can see here, see the 0. The 0 is just a not, an O. It's just an O. But I've changed it now, and you can see my other screen name on Twitter. It's called DevCamMate. That's also a unique, original name that nobody else has got. It's completely original, and I made sure it was original. And when you put original forms into gematria, you will get back the related energy there. And you can see this guy, Ovid. See, when you read some of what Ovid was talking about, he's talking about the polar configuration. He's talking about some amazing things, which is really similar to what I was talking about, and to what I'm studying regarding the polar configuration and the golden age and all that time. He was really into that. If you read some of the stuff, he was really full on. Like, you read his poetry, the way he speaks is amazing. the guy who's called Ovid, he's a famous poet. And so apparently this is related to that. You know? And it's just interesting how you get all of these different... Look at this, NVIDIA. Hypercube, there's just so many different words. And you might think it hasn't got any meaning, but listen, everything has meaning. Especially original, how would you say it, original names, original creation. Yeah, that's what it is. It's an original creation, and it's made from it's from a screen name that I used to use on the CryEngine forums, which was CamDev. But what I've done here, I've dev for developer, because I used to use a screen name which is similar, called CamDev on CryEngine.com. But I've put it the other way, so I've said DevCam, and do you know what that's supposed to mean? It's supposed to mean develop cam, and then I put the 8 there, develop the cam, mate. Which I'm still getting there. I'm still trying to develop that. There's loads of interesting people and words in here. It's fascinating. Right? But what was interesting, and I only seen this when I came back. When I came back, I noticed this when I came back. So, that shadow is freaking following me. And I only noticed this when I came back regarding these 3 characters. What? Do you see these 3 characters? Oh, you see that shadow? These 3 characters here really caught my attention when I came back, because if it wasn't for these 3 characters being here, that wouldn't have added up to 802, and it wouldn't have be the same as all of these. And so, can you see this? It's quite amazing, because there's 3 letters, right, which are unique. Now, when you add these 3 letters together, it comes up with the number 0, right? Because the 0 is a 0 and the at has got no numerical value, so it's a 3. So that comes up as a 3 when you add these special characters. It's just quite amazing that it came up with that. And if it wasn't for these characters being in here, that wouldn't come up. It wouldn't be the same frequency and the same value as all of these. And when you put, and this is how it's come up in Gematria, when you put this name into Gematria, when you calculate the 3 characters that are in this name using Gematria, the value is 0. 0. Put a 0 there. It's 0. Because numbers don't have numeric value, apparently, in Gematria. Don't they not? No, if you put a number, see if you put in a number in Gematria, it will come up with 0. And so if you put in a name or a word with a number, it will represent that number as a 0. So it's not counting the 3. It's not counting that either, because that's a 0. It's not counting that either, so that's a 0. So it's 3 zeros. It's 3 zeros. So it is 1, 2, 3 zeros. Strange. Is that strange? That is really strange. Look at this. I like that one. Sonic the Hedgehog. Look at that. Sonic the Hedgehog. That's nuts. That's related. It's related to this. It's the energy. The energy that was behind that is related to that. I mean, that's just one page. There's loads and loads and loads. I like that one. There's so many. And this is a different spelling. So it is. See the first page, it's got the original way that I spelt this screen name. And that was the original way I spell it. I spell it differently now. See now, I've got the O is a Q now. That's a Q. And I'm using another character for the A, and it's got like a dash above it. So I'm not using the at anymore either. So see my screen name now, and it's different. And it's got different relations. But originally, it came up to all of these. It's quite interesting, though. Wow. Look at this. It's so lightning. Wow. It was amazing. You see, if you ever want to be inspired, I mean, look at all these amazing mods. Look at this guy. There's a lot of people in here that are really, really hugely influential in history. This one. PC gamer from hell. It's nuts. Yeah, it's really there's a lot of. I mean, look at this one as well. I put this because of Kraken. You see that guy? That's Moses. That's another name for Moses. There's Sonic again. And that's in DevCam. That's in the other one. That's not Entropy Gamer. And it comes up with Sonic as well. Look. There's a tuxedo cat. I've got a tuxedo cat. It's a really influential thing in my life as well. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to show you anything else in this book, but I might show you this. I might be able to show you this thing. I've not got anything left to talk about. See this here? This symbol. I drew this symbol right in the hospital. This is all done in the hospital on this. Because information was coming to me. But see this symbol? What is it? That one there. That was really amazing how that came up. This one here. So what I've done is I've drew a box, right? It was after days of meditation and away from all technology. I had my phone, but I wasn't watching any the stuff that I usually watch. So I was away from technology, away from other people's voices, and my own thoughts were just coming through, and my own information was coming through, and I was just I drew a box, right? I drew a box. I dissected the box into 2 triangles. I then drew another triangle, okay? I then intersected these lines proportionally. Well, as proportionally as you can without a ruler. I then made a curve here to here. It was just a curve, right? A curve from here to here. And then here to here. Another curve from here to here. It was all proportion. And then I drew a dot in the middle and put a line across. And I've looked at what I've done and I'm like, what? What? It's a freaking eye. And then I put all. So basically I was just messing about with proportion and lines and curves and it's came up with an eye. I dropped my pen and I dropped my pen and I'm like, holy sh! How did that just appear? I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I was speaking to the stars, and anyway, so I just had a really clear vision of everything. I was beginning to see things electrically because I've got electric eyes. Not just that way, but once you learn the electrical universe and how the universe really works and how energy really flows and things like that, you gain an insight. So basically, I was sitting in my room in the hospital and loads of information was coming to me and I was so clear. And I was basically viewing the entire universe and the galaxy and the solar system from afar and from above, based on knowledge that I've already got, that I was simulating and looking around the entire cosmos in my mind. You see this? This is the sun. This is the solar system looking above, right? Because I was remote viewing trees from above and everything. So I was, just because I was bored. So I was remote viewing trees from above just to see what it looked like. It was a pine tree, and it looked like a galaxy because it had it had a pine at the top, and it had spirals all the way around it. So it looked like a galaxy and it had pines on it as well. But anyway, that's the sun. You've got different planets here. Different planets. And this is the solar system. Believe it or not, we're inside a big tube. It's a filamentary tube, and there was a Z pinch where our star is, a Z pinch in the middle. But this is our solar system, and it's inside a big tube. I've seen that. I don't know if I'm going to talk about that, but I seen a lot of symbols in my mind. A lot of symbols were coming through in my mind, and people might think I'm crazy. But I seen that in my mind. It was really intense, it was glowing, and it was all sorts of... This was all glowing, that was glowing. But see, in the centre was really glowing. And it was all glowing, and it was all geometric, and it was all moving, and it was all... That's what I seen in my mind, and it kept appearing to me. So it did. There's something else there, but I could talk about that. And basically here I'm just messing about with 2 triangles, as above so below. And here is a dream I had, but I'm going to talk about that at a different time. Is this washing machine going to finish? Man. Man, can you stop spinning because I can't hear myself think. Right. While I'm here, I may as well tell you about this. I had one of the most amazing dreams in my life, and it was I'll share this. I was looking over. I was on some kind of cliff, and I was looking over a ravine. So there was a gap. Looking over it at a ravine, and there was a mountain. Okay, and this mountain it just had a clear. This wasn't here. The mountain side was just a normal mountainside with loads of rock. Right, but as I watched, the sun, the moon appeared, and the moon started shining on the side of the mountain, and a door opened, and I watched this door appear in the side of this mountain, and I'm like, what? Absolutely, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And it was a door that was coming through. How do you say that? It was a door that was appearing as the moonlight was shining on it. I could see this it's one of the most amazing dreams I've ever had. It's so real, vivid and real. And this door started to appear, and I'm looking and I'm seeing this door starting to appear as the moonlight is beaming down onto it. And it was such an amazing scene. And I don't remember exact details of the door, but I do remember it having like a light blue, like a turquoise colour, lines and features over this door. It was some kind of really ornate, some kind of really ornate, decorated, but wasn't really. It was like lines. I'm trying to remember it, and so this is why I've wrote it down so I didn't forget about it. And see, if I hadn't have written this down, I might have forgot about it, and I might not have remembered it for years and years and years. So the door had some kind of decoration on it, and the colour was like a light blue, like a turquoise colour, like kind of that colour. Not, but it wasn't, not quite. It's more like this colour. It's more like a turquoise colour. And I'm standing here. You can see that's me. I'm looking over, and I'm seeing this door appear in the side of the mountain, and it was one of the most fantastic things I've ever seen in my life. And there's me, look, there's me trying to draw this again. But do you know what? And this is after hours of meditation. I've done that. I tried to do it again. I tried to draw it again, but it didn't work. And you know why it didn't work? Because it's not the right size. So this only came up because of the square's a specific size. You try and do that again and see if see the curve. The curve has got to be a specific size, otherwise it won't show up as an eye. So I tried to do it again and it didn't work. It didn't work. That was amazing. Yeah, sure. You see these a lot as well in my mind. I see these in the clouds. I'm seeing triangles everywhere. I don't want to tell that to anybody. I'm seeing triangles all over the place in my mind. I'm seeing triangles in my mind. I'm seeing ships in my mind. This had a decoration on it as well, by the way. This was a huge triangular shaped object that I seen in my mind after hours of meditation and weeks of being away from my technology. I started to see things in my mind. I seen a two-dimensional triangular object, right? But then it started to rotate, and I seen that it was a three-dimensional craft, and it had similar kind of markings on it as this door on this it did remind me of see the ship from the Eternals. It reminded me of that because it was really flat and it didn't have any bevels or smooth edges. It was really harsh edges. And on the side of this thing was similar decorations to the door that I seen in my dream. It was kind of a light blue lines and like patterns on it. And I seen it in my mind and it rotated. And then I seen it was a 3D object because it rotated. So there was a lot of things coming through. I mean, imagine being in a psychiatric ward and having all of this happen to you. You know, I was really having to hide this from the nurses because I think they would have thought I was nuts. Which I clearly wasn't. I'm having something real happening to me. But to have it happen in a psychiatric ward was absolutely... It was mind-bending. And I mean, I know there's specific people that do know what's going on. And then people know that I'm not crazy, and I'm not making all this bullshit up. But seeing all this come through when I was spending time away from my devices, and this has probably been with me for so long, but I've just not given it time. I've not given it time to come through because I've been overstimulating myself on technology. And then after 3 weeks of not being on technology, all of this came through. I started to have amazing dreams. I started to see patterns in my mind. I started to visualize like the universe from my mind's eye. I was drawing things freehand, and things were showing up. I was seeing geometric shapes in my mind, like this, that were glowing, and I was seeing it all the time. Not all, and I was seeing it with my eyes open as well. It's quite interesting. And I've not said what this is yet, but something happened one night when I was looking at the stars, because it was like some kind of sequence of events that was occurring. I mean, this is fantastic, but I mean, wow! I felt as if this Gemini was right above me. I was lying in bed, and I sent a message to this star, right? I tried to communicate with this star, which is what's the name of it? If you look at the twins, they're called the twins, Pollux and the other one. They were right above me just at a specific time and I knew that it was significant, so I sent them a message. I sent this one a message, right? And this came to me here. This came to me when I sent this message. Okay, and see, the thought I had was that because I was aware of this star, and this is me here, because I was aware of this star, it started some kind of chain reaction, and it's made this star a well, and then it's gone through the universal mind, which is this, and it's travelled through. What is that? Hold on, I'm not sure what that is, right? See this? This is the centre of the galaxy. No, this is the sun. Okay? That's the sun. So you can see that it's going directly from the cores of the cores to the hearts of the hearts, the cores of the cores. There was some kind of interaction taking place. There was some kind of interaction taking place at the time. It's a pretty fantastic thing. You know, you might think I made it all up in my mind, but I think something happened that night. I really think something happened to that night, and I'll come back to it at some point. So, I mean, I've not got my PC because I can't put my PC on to show you specific things. I've taken a lot of photographs as well. I've got a lot of new photographs that I wanted to show. Look at this. This is all the things I draw. Look what I draw in my mind. Look at that. Look at the flow of life. Why do I just draw all these things? See the synchronicity diagram that I drew? That came about because I was trying to get something. I was trying to express something. See the state of this book. And so here, remember this synchronicity diagram that I drew in the CryEngine? It's got like 2 clocks which indicate the path of time, and there's a ladder which had all the chakra systems, and there was an eye at the top. I mean, look at all these things. Sure. It's nuts. It's insane. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that I'll save that for another time. So I think it's good to share these type of things, you know. So it's good to share your experience, whatever experience you have in this world. It's good to just share it with somebody. This is the experience I'm having. Oh no, don't see that. Oh man. See, I've already turned the page now. So I wrote this after the 4 days of having my PC off when I came back, and I was trying to draw something, right? There was something trying to come across here. I was trying to find a symbol for alignment. Okay, so the symbol for alignment, and it actually should be a dot with a circle around it, but I put a smaller circle with a larger circle. Okay, so this is supposed to represent alignment. This here. Okay, now this is all coming through like intuition. Really, like, I'm only drawing these because my heart is telling me to. And so after that, I've drew a freaking hexagon because that's what I felt as if was next. After that, I've drew a bigger circle and named it the Lord. I don't know what this is. But I just felt like drawing it. It's hard to explain, but I felt as if I needed to draw this, and it was happened piece by piece. So I started off, I was really meditating. I was really in a really zen state, right? So I tried to think, know what I'd done? I was trying to think about a symbol to represent myself. So I drew a symbol of alignment, which should actually be just a dot with a circle. But that's boring, isn't it? That's boring. So I made a smaller circle with a larger circle, and that's representing alignment, which is me, right? For some strange reason. And then after that, it's told me, my intuition has told me to draw a hexagon, which I've labelled there as the mind. And this could also be, see how it says man here? That could also be life. Okay, now that's right. This is all correct. For some strange reason, it's all correct. And then you've got the outer circle, which is the Lord. I don't know what it means, but it does look like something, doesn't it? It looks like something. So, yeah. So hopefully I've described that. Described this science that's happening that nobody's telling you about. That's basically, it's really self-explanatory. So, I mean, this thing, I can't hear myself think, man, why did I put this on? Why? Why did I put this on? It's still going. Man, it's been spinning for 10 minutes. It's on at 60. Wait, sure. So I'm going to make my dinner. So I'm going to end this video here and go and make my dinner. Well, hopefully it's given something for people to think about. I mean, just making this video is really helping me to work all this out, and hopefully it's going to give other people insight into what's going on in the unawares. And I think this could actually save the planet, and it could save your life. Well, no, I don't want to be grandiose like that, but I think, see, this could really save your mind. If you haven't realised, if you're a growing spiritual person and you're awakening, and you're in a spiritual awakening, right, and you're awakened, if you have not seen this, then you have not immersed yourself around technology as much as I have. But I'm really feeling this, and I feel that this is vital information, and it could save your life. It saved my life, and it can heal you. When you realise and you are aware of this system and this function and this science that's going on when we're around technology, which is artificial devices made of an artificial material that does not have the properties of life. We're all around these things, we're surrounded by them, we're wearing clothes that actually are not made of natural materials as well, so that our clothes could be doing it too. It's probably why Bigfoot walks about with no clothes on, but he's full of hair. You won't see any Bigfoot or any creatures, any advanced creatures that live on this planet using technology, because I think technology is bad for your health, and it's only because when you overuse it, but it is doing things to the average person that they are unaware of. And I mean, a lot of us, we're having to use technology for every single aspect of our life recently. You know, you can't do nothing without you having to use your phone and be on technology to do specific things. So it's really important to share this information. I think this could save lives. It's vital. Just this diagram, and I mean, it's not very neat. I've just scribbled it out. It's not supposed to be neat. You know, I'm a good drawer, but it's not supposed to be neat. It's just a general idea, and you can see how all of this goes on. I mean, look at that. It's amazing how I've done all of that. It's quite descriptive how I've drawn that, and then how you've got this here. It's just a simple interaction going on between, and that's what it should be. But I think we need to look at this and pay attention to this and think about this and ponder on this and be aware of this, I think, and think of the other implications too. There's other implications regarding other things, right? But I'm not going to get into this right now because I'm going to go and make my dinner. So I'm going to end the video right here. Hopefully I'm going to continue to make more videos on a regular basis. Okay, and build my viewership back up and get the algorithms going for upload videos on a regular basis. We can get this information out there. It can help me to organise and to just discover things, you know. Hey, just in time. Okay, so I'm signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.